On a warm afternoon in 1885, Sri Ramakrishna sat in the drawing room of Balarām's house, surrounded by his devoted followers. The air was thick with the anticipation of spiritual discourse. Among those present were Binode, Rākhāl, the younger Naren, and Pashupati and more. The master had already partaken in a simple pure meal offered in devotion at Balarām's house. But this day was destined for a deeper exploration of the divine, and it was about to unfold in a way that transcended mere ritual. Sri Ramakrishna, in his gentle manner, had agreed to visit Nanda Bo's house in Bagwazar. Nanda, an aristocrat, had a collection of sacred pictures adorning his walls, each one capturing the mirrored forms and divine attributes of God. Sri Ramakrishna's palanquin made its way to Nanda's house, and as it arrived, the master was greeted warmly by the family. He was immediately drawn to the pictures displayed in the spacious hall. What followed was a heartfelt exposure, a series of visual revelations that deepened the understanding of God and the sacred relationship between the divine and human beings. First, the master's eyes fell upon a painting of Vishnu, depicted with 4 arms. The sight of this image overwhelmed him. In an instant, he sank into deep ecstasy, feeling the divine presence as if it were an undeniable, living force before him. His devotion was palpable as he sat there, immersed in a deeper connection. Next, he gazed upon an image of Ram blessing Hanuman, the devoted monkey god. Ram's hand rested on Hanuman's head, a gesture of immense love and grace. The master's heart swelled with emotion as he muttered, "Ami, Ami." He was moved not just by the beauty of the image, but by the divine relationship it depicted, a relationship based on absolute devotion and surrender. Then his eyes were drawn to the image of Krishna, his flute praised to his lips under the Kadamba tree, the embodiment of divine play and love. And further along, a picture of Vamana, the dwarf incarnation of Vishnu, which also captivated Sri Ramakrishna's attention, as if each image revealed another facet of divine's vast and endless nature. With each painting, the master moved deeper into a spiritual mood, contemplating the many faces of God. There was a picture of Narasimha, the fierce lion-headed avatar of Vishnu, a reminder of God's protective power, and another of Krishna tending to his cows by Yamuna river, surrounded by the innocence of nature and the purity of devotion. As the master observed these paintings, he was moved to speak about the Divine Mother. He looked at images of Dhumavati, Tara, Kali, forms of Mother who embody both the terrifying and compassionate aspects of the divine. If one keeps these pictures, he said, they should be worshipped with devotion. To be able to place them with reverence is a true blessing. Finally, His eyes fell upon the image of Annapurna, the goddess of food and nourishment. The master's heart swelled and he exclaimed, "Grand, grand." He saw her as the very sustenance of life, both physical and spiritual. The final picture he gazed at was of Radhika, the divine consort of Krishna, seated on a throne in the Nikunja Grove, surrounded by her attendants or gopis. Here the master saw the eternal relationship of love and devotion between God and the soul, a divine romance beyond earthly understanding. These encounters with the divine through art were not mere passive observations for Sri Ramakrishna. They were invitations to experience God's multifaceted nature, His compassion, His power, His playful grace, His protective essence. Each image was not just a picture, but a gateway into deeper spiritual understanding. Through these divine revelations, Sri Ramakrishna illustrated the unifying relationship between the human soul and God, one that is built on surrender, love, and the eternal search for truth. After immersing himself in the sacred images of the gods and goddess at Nanda Bo's house, Sri Ramakrishna turned to his host, visibly moved. The master, brimming with joy, praised Nanda, saying, "Master, I am truly happy today. This is grand. You are a true Hindu. You have adorned your walls with these divine images. I am amazed." Nanda, humble and smiling, invited Sri Ramakrishna to sit down, urging him, "Nanda, please take a seat, Master. Why are you standing?" Sri Ramakrishna said, his heart swelling with admiration as he looked around at the vast collection of spiritual pictures. "Master, these are grand, very large pictures. Truly, you are a real Hindu." The conversation shifted as they turned to a particular image, one that had been painted for Suresh Mitra, a devoted disciple of the master. It was a depiction of Kesava's Navavishnu, showing how people of different faiths travel the same path to the divine. Sri Ramakrishna gestured toward the picture, speaking with quiet wisdom. "That was painted for Surendra." Prasanna's father, amused, added, "And you are in that picture too, Master." Sri Ramakrishna smiled in return, his eyes sparkling with a deeper understanding. "Yes, it includes everything. This is the ideal of modern times." As he spoke, a spiritual fervor began to build within Sri Ramakrishna. His connection to the divine seemed to transcend words as he conversed with the mother in an ecstatic trance. It was in these moments, as he sat in the midst of a material world, that the true essence of God's presence became apparent. "Master, I am not unconscious. I see clearly now. But look at this house. What is it really made of? Bricks, timber, clay, mere materials? What is the essence of it all? A silence followed, heavy with realization. Then, as if to further ground the conversation in the reality of everyday life, Sri Ramakrishna spoke once more. I am so happy to see these pictures of gods and goddess. But remember, it's not always good to keep the pictures of the more terrifying aspects of the Divine Mother. If one does, they must be worshipped with great care and devotion. Pashupati, ever the light-hearted one, added with smile, "Well, as long as she keeps things going, everything will be fine." Sri Ramakrishna nodded, acknowledging the truth in the words, but then he shifted the conversation, returning to a deeper spiritual message. That's true, but never forget, one must always think of God. It's not good to forget Him, even in the midst of all this. Nanda, reflecting on the nature of their lives in the modern world, responded, "But how little we actually think of God." Sri Ramakrishna, with a knowing smile, offered a response that would resonate through the ages. One thinks of God through His grace. That is how it happens. Nanda, still unsure, asked the question that many of us ponder. But how can we obtain God's grace? Does He really have the power to bestow it? In this moment, Sri Ramakrishna acknowledged the distance many feel between their material lives and the divine. Yet he gently reminded them that connection with God is always possible, even in the midst of our busy, often distracted existence. The way is to maintain a constant awareness of Him, invoking His grace in every action. As the conversation deepened, Sri Ramakrishna spoke to his devotees about the nature of prayer, the surrender of the self, and the earnest connection one can experience with the divine. With a gentle smile, he addressed the intellectual mindset of the time, offering a radical shift in understanding. Master, I see you think as the intellectuals do, that one reaps the results of one's actions. But you must let go of such thoughts. The effects of karma fade away when you take refuge in God. In that moment, Sri Ramakrishna shared with them a prayer, a powerful expression of devotion and surrender. It was a prayer born from his deepest heart, a prayer that transcended the concepts of good and bad, virtue and vice. Master, I prayed to the Divine Mother with flowers in my hand, saying, "Here, Mother, take thy sin, here, take thy virtue. I do not want either of these. Give me only real bhakti. Here, Mother, take thy good, here, take thy bad. I do not want any of thy good or bad. Give me only real bhakti. Here, Mother, take thy dharma, here, take thy adharma. I do not want any of thy dharma or adharma. Give me only real bhakti. Here, Mother, take thy knowledge, here, take thy ignorance. I do not want any of thy knowledge or ignorance. Give me only real bhakti. Here, Mother, take thy purity, here, take thy impurity. Give me only real bhakti. In this simple yet profound prayer, Sri Ramakrishna expressed the essence of surrender, the giving up of all attachments, whether to what is considered good or bad, pure or impure. He called for a direct, unshakable devotion to the divine, a bhakti that transcends dualities and connects the soul to the heart of God. Nanda, listening attentively, asked a question that had been on his mind. Nanda, can God violate the law? Sri Ramakrishna, ever the teacher, smiled gently, his eyes gleaming with the wisdom of the ages. He responded with simplicity and authority. Master, what do you mean? God is the Lord of all. He can do everything. The one who has created the law can also change it. This statement carried the weight of huge realization. God is beyond all laws. He is the source of everything, including the very rules that govern the universe. If we trust in His will, we surrender our understanding of limitations and embrace the boundless power and grace of the divine. Through this prayer and dialogue, Sri Ramakrishna invites us to let go of our attachments to the material and intellectual. Instead, he calls us to embrace a deeper, more intimate connection with God, one that goes beyond logic and law. It is a call to surrender to the divine with all our heart, trusting that in doing so, we are granted the highest gift, that is pure devotion or real bhakti. In the midst of our modern material world, we can find that same connection by surrendering our notions of right and wrong, good and bad, and offering ourselves wholly to God's grace.